right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped, the show that will keep you on your toes. God only knows. All right, it is almost 25 after the hour. Hey, special shout out to everybody listening on podcast or on YouTube. We thank you for checking in on the show when you can't listen to us live. And don't forget, you can download us on the downloadable phone apps. Take us with you on your phone. Just simply go to your phone store, your Play Store, look up either Vegas All Net Radio or VANR.
We might mention that we will be downloading our videos to the Vegas All Net Radio page on Facebook, right?
No. YouTube.
YouTube, I meant. Well, you know what I mean.
That's the sad part is I did. Now joining us.
The Noiv. I just want to see if he's on his toes. He's going away. For 3 weeks, we're going to do Vegas Unwrapped fill-it list. We'll talk more about that later. Go.
I'll be calling in, don't you worry.
Oh, God.
The executive director of the Southwest Veterans Chamber of Commerce, and when he's not busy doing that, he's a business consultant, so I told him to stay close to his phone because he'll probably get a call from us in a couple of weeks. Mr. Tom Sheets joins us here live in studio all the way from Phoenix. How are you, sir?
Doing great.
Good. Welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, it looks like I came into a free fire zone.
You're not good, man. We've had no parameters since day one. This is you jump in the pool at your own risk.
You notice there is always a seat between us. Because if we get too close, there'll be a lot of jabs going on here.
Exactly. Well, welcome to the show. We thank you for coming in. So tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved with the Veterans Chamber of Commerce.
My background, like many, was very accidental. I was in college in the late 60s and didn't do real good in the draft lottery.
Where were you?
I was number 31.
I was number 12.
In a year that they were projected going to 155.
I was number 12.
But to make a long story short, I joined the Marine Corps for 3 years after graduation, and I forgot to get out. 26 years later, I remembered.
Wow. They lost your diploma all that time?
I couldn't believe it. So I retired in 1999 and then went into the hospitality business for 6 years, where I ran into JPEG. We ran into each other.
Okay.
So this wasn't the first bottle of champagne we drank.
Sounds like it.
We almost took over the world.
And I was actually got recruited to Phoenix from the San Diego area to turn around effort as CEO of a business, and that's where I ran into some good folks. You see part of the logo with our branding of the Southwest Veterans Chamber of Commerce was founded by veterans and for veterans. Mm-hmm. Clearly the last almost 15 years now has been a long, hard fight. And our young Americans, men and women, and many civilians who also go have paid a dear price, and they need some a lot of help.
Right.
That doesn't always come from the government.
Right.
So
right.
We all about veterans.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because the Veterans Society here, the veterans community, is big here in Las Vegas. There's a lot of veterans here, and there's a lot of organizations now that seem to be popping up all over the city in support of the veterans. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. It just seems magnified here in Vegas because of our population.
It also started with the VA hospital.
Oh, sure.
That was a big impetus, and now and then with the VA office also located on the grounds of UNLV, and we had that person on Vegas Unwrapped about a year and a half ago, talking about all the programs that were generated with him. So we're not surprised that something like this has come to effect as well.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you mentioned the VA because, as you well know from the very unfortunate and bad publicity, Phoenix was the epicenter of the VA hospital crisis.
Yes, it was.
And so,
I didn't want to say anything because he was from Phoenix, but okay.
And so, and the other point you mentioned, that many organizations are popping up, and it's really one of the other goals that the Chamber has. And although we're based in Phoenix, our title is Southwest, so we're really thinking regionally. But there are hundreds, if not thousands, of well-meaning small organizations popping up. and they are sincerely interested in helping veterans in any number of ways. But small organizations can only do so much.
Right.
And one of our thoughts is that going forward is to try to create a collaboration where many small or modestly resourced, veteran-friendly, veteran support organizations could collaborate and come together, and maybe by pooling resources, sharing expenses, really have a bigger impact in a area that's just full with requirements and thousands of veterans that really do need some help and need a hand up.
Do you also can you get involved in supporting the VA hospitals? Because our friend of ours, the Scott that we've been talking about, is also former military, and he just sent a message, excuse me, it's still not easy getting appointments at the VA. Is this something that, as an organization, you can work with the big parent organization of like the VA hospitals and organizations to look at their systems and try to improve them in any way?
Yeah, well, as a Chamber of Commerce, and I mean at this point, although we're young and we're growing, we do talk, we do have points of contact, but again, I think it relates to my previous point. If we can create a collaboration where the message they're getting is coming from a network of organizations, 20, 30 organizations representing hundreds of thousands, as opposed to little organizations representing a small amount. And, the VA hospital problems, to be perfectly frank about it, they didn't occur overnight.
Right.
It's going to take a while, but I think sometimes the problems are so severe and the attention and publicity has been so bad. I think we're at the tipping point where there is going to be change. And of course, they hired Bob McDonald, former CEO, literally out of retirement, West Point graduate himself. And I think for the first time in a long time, they really have some professional, lifelong business experience that are now at the helm. And I think you're going to see what has been a federal bureaucracy transformed into an efficient business. It'll take time, not overnight, but
I just want to let our sponsors know that we're going to skip our bottom of the hour break. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped here on Vegas All Net Radio, and joining us here in studio is the Executive Director of the Southwest Veterans Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Tom Sheets. So if you'd like to call in, 702-483-4444. You can Skype us at Vegas All Net Radio and share your thoughts, comments, questions, queries, innuendos, whatever you'd like to ask Tom. He is here to answer your question.
Well, Tom, you talked about the model of getting all these smaller groups involved in one thing. You're taking and here in Las Vegas, we've seen that with the growth of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I mean, it's almost as big as the regular, Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, and it's something that's done wonderful for the Latino communities here. And I think, obviously the same thing could be said for veterans groups, because there are, like you said, Aaron, there are many groups here that support veteran programs. I mean, we were just at one where
Right.
We're at the Senior Spotlight Spectacular, where proceeds,
Honor
some of
Flight
that
Southern
was
Nevada.
going to be doing Honor Flight of Southern Nevada.
one of the other functions we try to serve is not to necessarily try to reinvent every wheel, but sometimes just being able to get the word out to the veterans. You don't know what you don't know. And so one of the other things we try to do through our website and our monthly activities is just to get the word out to the veteran community, the organizations that do have resources, and what they can do to help.
Now, do you have chambers in each one of the states, or is it just like one chamber?
We have one chamber, and we just opened our third chapter.
Gotcha.
What we ultimately hope to do is to grow in a controlled manner, and out in concentric circles, from Phoenix being the hub. And that's why when the initial concept was not to restrict it to Phoenix, not to restrict it to Arizona, but, do it in a regional basis throughout the entire Southwest.
Good. It makes a lot of sense.
John, anything that you want to add into this? Oh,
Yes.
I didn't mean to wake you up. I'm sorry.
No. You both know that this is near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons that Tom is here, is one of my goals for this next year is to help build this chamber locally here. So we'll be, just stay tuned for some updates as we go along.
Absolutely.
Down the road. But
Well, you've got a hell of a platform. You own a radio station.
and that was it. Like I said, it's I'm very involved with the veterans here. I have a vested interest in the Veterans Hospital, and
Because you're there every
here
day.
because they take care of me. And going back to the question that you asked about about the time frame in some of the wait times, is they don't have the resources that they need. This hospital is new, and it's not completely 100% operational. They're probably 85-90%. But I got to tell you, what they've done in the last year is absolutely amazing. I mean, I've gone in for MRIs and pulmonary function tests and stuff like that, and I get better care from this local VA here than I ever have in my entire life from any private health organization. I find the people, the doctors, the counselors, everyone there, the patient advocates, to be very dedicated to our veterans. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Your point is reinforced with a lot of studies where, although there still is a problem getting in, most of the studies and reports indicate that by and large, veterans are very satisfied with the quality of care once they get through
Once they
the
get through
front
the door.
door.
Right.
If I couldn't find this
Yeah, I
quick
was
enough for
wondering
the
what you-
last question.
I was wondering what you were digging out there.
Yeah, to your point of communicating and getting the word out and connecting people in the VA. At the early this morning in Phoenix, I tore this out of the newspaper, and I will get this later tonight to our webmaster. But here is I just learned that the Veterans Services has a mobile office in Phoenix, and this was just a little in a little local newspaper, where in this particular case, the Veterans Administration case manager is available every Tuesday from 9:30 to 11:30 at Desert Foothills Library. It's information like this,
Right.
that this didn't cost anybody anything,
right.
but just the ability to get this information
Sure,
out.
sure.
There's a veteran somewhere that, knowing this, can now go
Has
on
another
Tuesday
resource.
to that local mobile
Sure.
case manager,
Sure.
rather than driving downtown Phoenix and standing in line. So
I have a good friend up in Northern California that to get to his doctor's appointments for the VA is almost a 2-hour drive one way.
Wow.
So it's they're trying. I got to give them a lot of credit,
Yeah, well-
and everybody's throwing a lot of rocks, but man, we've come a long way.
yeah, that's another good example. There are several organizations in the Phoenix area, and I'm sure other places, that provide the transportation.
Right.
And so again, sometimes it's just a getting together the veteran with a transportation need with the organization that's got a
That can
transportation
provide the
resource.
transportation.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I've been a fan for a number of years of the, not just the VA hospitals, but also the military hospitals at the various bases throughout the country. My granddaughter was born in the Portsmouth Naval Hospital, and she was a 27-and-a-half-week child who was like a pound. And their NICU was probably one of the finest NICUs in the country, and now she's going to be 8 this year, and they basically saved her life for the first 3 months just about every day. So they always will have a warm place in my heart for all medical performances that are done by medical hospitals, whether it be VA hospitals or those other type of hospitals that the medical people are military.
That resonates with me. My youngest daughter was born at the Fort Belvoir Army Hospital and had an issue at birth and was very well treated. was subsequently medevaced from Fort Belvoir to Walter Reed Medical Hospital, and after a couple days of touch and go, came out of it with no long-term effects. So your point is well made.
Scott is sharing with me. He agrees with your comment about the fact that once you get in the door, the service and care is tremendous. Just takes forever to set up. And another example about where people have to drive, he has to go to Palo Alto, California for his next procedure.
That's where Phil goes.
Which is scheduled June 29th.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a 10-hour drive, and he's having a heart procedure. So as great as the facility is here,
Right.
it's still not good enough to facilitate his situation.
It's not fully functional. And
No,
that's the
I
problem.
understand.
mean,
I understand. But whatever's missing,
Right.
it would be great if there's a way that it could become fully functional, so that in this case where Scott has to drive 10 hours one way for a procedure, be away from home, be away from his familiar surroundings,
Right.
and then have to deal with getting back here, it would just be nice to have, if you've got a facility, let's use it. But of course, I understand why it's not fully set up yet.
They're getting there.
Yeah,
it's
Tony
like I said,
Martini.
It's resources.
Tony Martini had a hernia procedure there a year ago. I was with him at that facility, so I
Pretty awesome, huh?
It's tremendous. It's a tremendous facility. I walked around the gift shop because I was in awe looking at all the hats and stuff that was all military.
Yeah.
It was tremendous. I mean, it's a tremendous facility. But
on the far edge of town.
that's right. I had to get my passport stamped to get up there. That's right. That's right. It's it's out of my comfort zone, especially with the way I had to drive with him that day. So what are you looking to do here in Vegas? What's the plan for Vegas?
Well, Vegas and Nevada in general
Right.
is not that far from Phoenix, and as we look at expanding outward, this is clearly one direction in which we would like to expand. And in fact, we have our first Nevada member of the Southwest Veterans Chamber of Commerce.
Who could that be?
Who could that be?
Now, what does it take to start a chapter here, or anywhere for that matter?
$163,000 cash.
And 10 cents. But
Make the
anyway.
check out to VANR.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, what our process is an evolution of once we have received memberships from a sufficient number of people to be able to sustain some type of an organization, we will issue a charter. There's no additional cost associated with that, beyond the cost of individual membership. And I might point out, you don't have to be a veteran or a veteran-owned business to join the chamber. We talk about veteran supportive, and so those who are not veterans, either individuals or businesses who join the chamber, we refer to as patriots.
Okay.
And so those listening, you don't have to be a veteran to join the Chamber of Commerce. And once we have a sufficient number of people with they've already indicated they care and are interested in getting together on a regular basis and beginning to do some things
And
in a more
network.
organized fashion, then that's when we'll look at expanding the chapters.
What I just pulled up your website here, www.southwestveteranschamber.com, and there's John's name right there on the website. Oh, he's got a hot link too. Where's it linked to? His Facebook page? Oh no! Oh, so you actually have bios on the webpage of all your members.
It's the profiles.
Okay.
Kind of profile data for the members, and again, that's one of the things, particularly for the business members, where you can link right to their business.
Mm-hmm.
We and as you'll see, we want to post both job opportunities
Right.
from companies.
Right.
We also want to expand where individual veterans could post their resumes. So try to act as a matchmaker.
So
between-
I'm sorry. So as I'm just playing here on the website, so as a patriot, 2 to 10 employees can make a $200 donation to the organization. Is that right?
That's right, and that would be their annual membership.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so what we've actually done is the standard is the Patriot column, but then for veterans, we discount it a
Gotcha.
little bit. And the other thing that we eliminated, unlike the vast majority of Chamber of Commerce's I'm familiar with, and I'm a member of a couple others, we have no administrative fee or processing fee. Originally, there was a $35 processing fee, which is kind of a pretty common amount, 25 to 45. We eliminated that, so there is no admin fee, just your membership fee. One of the other things that your membership fee goes towards is a veteran scholarship program.
Okay.
A lot of the colleges and universities have become very sensitive to the needs of the veterans. We are pretty closely integrated with the Maricopa County Community College District, which includes 11 community colleges. Most of them have a very strong student veterans organization. They have their own facilities. A couple of them are members of our chamber. I'd like to also mention one of our big corporate members and sponsors is SRP. And in addition to their membership fee, they provided $1,000 that we could use to pay for 10 individual veteran memberships to the chamber.
Nice.
And for those of us who do not live in Phoenix, who the hell is SRP?
I'm sorry. SRP is Salt River Project.
Okay.
One of our
And
big-
they are the electric
yes,
provider,
yeah,
the electric company in
SRP
Phoenix.
and APS are
Right.
kind of the two of the large electric
They're
utility
Arizona's
providers.
answer to Nevada Energy.
Gotcha.
And so again, just the type of SRP has their own vet organization among their employees called SRP Vets, and they gave us $1,000 for us to use at our discretion for veterans who had a desire to participate with the chamber, but $100 was just a little bit too much to swing. So, it's that type of awareness and gratitude and desire to help that just warms your heart. And we cannot thank SRP enough for their direct membership, and they do a lot of things for us.
Tom, we're going to definitely have to get you back here and give us some
Absolutely.
updates as to how it's going, because we're not going to believe anything he tells us. So
You can either Skype in or call in, but of course, in studio is always better. The website is southwestveteranschamber.com. Of course, I'm sure that at some point there'll be a Vegas version of this because everything on there is Arizona-based, but it gives you great information about what's available to become a patriot, to become a veteran signed up, and I definitely see something in the future for Vegas Unwrapped and VANR getting involved behind it, especially since John's going to be involved with it. Also, you can find them on Facebook, Southwest Veterans Chamber of Commerce, all kinds of information on there, links, all sorts of things that'll just kind of keep you in the loop from all around the country, as a matter of fact. So check out both of those pages. And if someone wants to contact you directly, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
T-Sheets at stonewall-group.com or 760-213-3705.
Perfect. And
One quick question. If I'm not mistaken, there are no paid people in this. This is all volunteers, correct?
That is correct.
I mean, so all of the money is going back